And one of those Democrats, Congressman Tim Ryan, is here. Joining us is Democratic Congressman Tim Ryan of the state of Ohio. Nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you.
So you don't like the 2011 budget?
No.
Why?
I don't think, in agreement with the Bowles-Simpson Commission, Rivlin, Domenici, I don't think right now is the time to cut just this year. I think we're just getting out of a very fragile economy. Now's not the time to cut. Plus, this isn't where the money is. The money's in the entitlement programs. The money's long-term. So I think this was more about show than it was actually about economics.
One of the things I read in a statement that you issued, your office issued, is that they didn't like the draconian cuts to crucial local programs. I'm with you on wanting to help the children, don't get me wrong. But one of them is like Head Start programs. And so I did a little research to see, like, how's Head Start doing? And I was scandalized to find that in the District of Columbia, one report is 12% of 8th graders were reading at an 8th grade level. So I'm thinking to myself, you know, I don't want money from these programs, but should we do something about the programs rather than throwing more money at them?
I don't think there's any doubt that we need reforms within these programs, and there's some very cutting-edge education programs that I think we need to completely reevaluate and restructure our education system. There is no question. But now is not the time to be cutting these programs. You're talking about 8th grade. These are young kids who don't have any other opportunities, any other places to go. They're preventing long-term damage to our economy and to really the health and welfare. There's been a study done. For every dollar we invest in Head Start, we get $5 to $7 back into our economy.
Well, if Head Start works so well, I mean, these 8th graders would have been the product of it, I mean, theoretically. And if our education system is not doing particularly well, I think that a lot of the upset in this country from some people is not that people don't want to help people, but that we're just doing dumb things that are not effective. Not that our heart isn't in it, but they're not working.
This is not the place to blame Head Start. From the time someone leaves the Head Start program to the time they're in 8th grade, especially in the city of Washington, D.C., one of the most violent cities in the entire country, a lot has happened since the time they left the Head Start program. So to throw test scores or success or failure of an 8th grader onto the Head Start program that happened years ahead of time, I think is a bit unfair to the Head Start program.
But what are we doing? They maybe we're wasting money for, like, what are we doing to people post Head Start, to pick Head Start as a sample? Is that if we're throwing money at Head Start, but then we're doing absolutely zero, so now we're at the 12% level for 12% of the 8th grade, I mean, that's pathetic. Something is drastically wrong. Wrong.
And I agree with you, and I think some of the things we have to do, and in fact there was a conference down in Washington, D.C. today, social and emotional learning happening in pockets all across our country. 250 to 300,000 meta-analysis of kids, 11 percentile point increase in test scores, closes the achievement gap, 10% increase in good behavior, 10% decrease in antisocial behavior. This is being looked at as a major reform to the education system about dealing with the social and emotional issues that these kids have to deal with before they can even start learning.
I guess, as I step back and look at the debate on Capitol Hill in terms of spending, taxing, everything, it seems to me that the two things that really bother me is one is waste, which you and I didn't get to, or probably won't get to, but the other is if we're going to even spend that money, people want to get something for the dollar. And I think that's where there's been so much failure and oversight in Congress or whatever, and actually getting a product so the dollars that are spent.
Well, I would be more concerned with the waste in Afghanistan and Iraq. And
I don't like waste any place.
Yeah, well, I don't like it either, but a lot of people focus on the Head Start program, which is a minuscule part of the entire budget. My major concern with this as we move into 2012, where's the shared sacrifice? We're pounding on Head Start. We're going to end Medicare as we know it. We're going to defund Medicaid significantly, but no one's asking for the wealthiest people who Greta have made.
Just a minute, I got to go, but I just want to say I took Head Start because that was in your statement, just because that's okay. Why I took Head Start. And I realize it's a minuscule, but I agree. I think you probably, I don't disagree with you on some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Congressman, thank you, sir.
Shared sacrifice, Greta.